Yeah, everybody does want to know. I have a feeling at the moment that we're in a bigger pullback and we shouldn't be in a rush to buy Bitcoin back. At the moment, though, we are sitting on pretty good support. If we go all the way from the lows, rather than from what I think is this wave 3, then we are, if we look at this as a wave 3, then we're underneath this 236 fib support, now resistance. And as long as we hold underneath it, we should look to go lower before we start our wave 5. That's how I'm kind of thinking this is. But if we think that we've got 5 waves complete, there's always 2 options when you count the waves, isn't there? If we think this is 5 waves complete, then we're sitting on support. We're sitting on this 236 fib that we tested here. We haven't been able to close above it on this 4 hour, below it, I mean, and we're holding the 4 hour 200 moving average. So it's not clear. Another way to see is the correction over. Are we doing what we did on previous ones, is to measure how long the previous corrections of this scale took. So we would measure this wave 1 here. And as long as we're similar in sort of size and scale to this wave 1, we would say, you know what, this could be us ready to go. And this is, you know, a good setup. We might have to make a bit of a base here, but you know, we've taken less time than this wave 1 took. If we take a look at this one here, this big correction in the middle, which I think was wave, which if we count it was wave 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, extended wave 5, then you can see that this correction here, you know, we've gone a little bit beyond it. So we're in the kind of zone, so that doesn't help us. Let's put our 38.2 fib on, back testing it there. So this is pretty good support, isn't it? The ABC level, though, is we haven't quite reached, but I'd be okay with that. Sometimes they don't quite. So potentially we could make a base here, but my gut feeling says we go a little bit lower. Most corrections, if this is a wave 3, they come back to the 38.2. Okay, and so that I'm just going to do it in a different color. So we'll make it red. Here, 91.40. And then if we then add on, where is our ABC equal measured move? Like this, we go from this high to this low to up here. Make sure we've measured it all right. Then this equal measured move we haven't quite tagged yet, so the support is a little bit lower. So I'm thinking that maybe we see one more push and then a bounce. So yeah, potentially we've got really good support around 9,000. If we look left, we always want to see, have we got some structure there here that will help us? And the answer, yes, we have these highs and these lows. So we've got pretty good support and resistance. So I'm thinking most final legs are usually 5 waves, okay? So if we look at this, we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, one more push lower. So a little bit lower, and then we'll see what happens here in Bitcoin. Let's see if we're doing the same, where we've got a little bit further to go or some room in Ethereum. Because Ethereum's a little bit more messy. Let's start with the daily. We've got a sideways range with a double top. When you've got a double top, you have also, you know, it's a messy double top. Here's the bottom of our range. So I would look first instance to the bottom of the range for our support, and we're not there yet. And we really need to touch this daily 20 moving average, which we have not yet. I'm going to put regular candles on. So again, I'm going to say a little bit lower for F too. If we put our hourly on, like this, okay, and I go high to low to high. Here we are sitting on the 61.8. So potentially we could rally from here at 255. But if it falls, we're looking for 234. So we have to wait and see. Are we going to get some green, a double bottom, some kind of bottom here? Otherwise, F, again, has a further to fall and a bigger correction. And if you look at, you know, the size of this rally, we kind of need a bigger correction before we can get long. We need this daily to come back to the middle and reset. That would be a good sign. If you don't use a CCI, use an RSI. Put an RSI on. See when the RSI has reset itself. Let's see. See how we're still coming lower in the daily RSI? All of the oscillators are doing the same. We need them to get back to the middle point, so the 50% in an RSI before we can think about rallying. So a bit more time, even if we don't drop very much in price, we need a bit more time before we can buy these crypto again. So